Good morning, my name is Anthony McGrath. Thank you for joining us. In this Christmas edition, we explore the evidence for Jesus being a vegan, the origins of the Christmas festivities, and more. This will be the last edition before 2024. Again, consider buying the book V4 Vegan, available on Amazon. While no direct evidence in historical records confirms Jesus' dietary habits, some arguments have been made suggesting that he may have followed a plant-based diet. It's important to note that interpretations of religious texts and historical context vary, and these claims are subject to debate among scholars and theologians. Examining the cultural and historical context of Jesus' time provides insights into the dietary practices of the region. The Mediterranean diet during the 1st century was predominantly plant-based, focusing on grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Meat consumption, especially among lower-income individuals, was limited due to economic constraints. Some biblical passages are often cited to support the idea that Jesus may have followed a plant-based diet. In the Garden of Eden, a vegan diet was initially prescribed, Genesis 1:29, suggesting that a plant-based diet could be ideal. Additionally, passages such as Isaiah 11:6-9 describe a peaceful future where animals coexist without harm, reinforcing the idea of compassion towards animals. The teachings of Jesus often emphasized compassion, mercy, and love for all living beings. Some argue that a vegan lifestyle aligns with these principles, as it avoids causing harm to animals and promotes a harmonious relationship with the environment. Jesus' critiques of temple practices, including animal sacrifices, indicate a concern for ethical and spiritual purity over ritualistic traditions. This has been interpreted by some as a rejection of animal exploitation and may imply a preference for a diet that does not involve the harm of animals. Some historical accounts suggest that Jesus may have been influenced by or associated with the Essenes, a Jewish sect known for their ascetic and communal lifestyle. The Essenes were reported to have followed a vegetarian or plant-based diet, further fueling speculation about Jesus' dietary choices. Some parables and teachings attributed to Jesus use agricultural or plant-based imagery, using metaphors related to seeds, harvests, and vineyards could be interpreted as aligning with a plant-based lifestyle. Some non-canonical writings, known as apocryphal texts, provide alternative perspectives on Jesus' life. The Gospel of the Ebionites, for example, suggests that Jesus adhered to a vegetarian diet. However, these texts are not considered authoritative by mainstream Christianity. There is also one other connection, not often mentioned. It may explain the lost years. Jesus disappears at age 11 and reappears at age 33. In the annals of history, the enigmatic figure known as Isa, said to have traversed the East in ancient times, has captivated the imaginations of scholars and seekers alike. While the accounts of Isa's travels remain shrouded in mystery and debate, intriguing records found in Buddhist temples in India provide tantalizing glimpses into this enigmatic journey. The story of Isa, often associated with Jesus Christ, suggests that he ventured eastward, perhaps during the missing years not covered in traditional biblical narratives. This journey is believed to have taken him to India and other eastern lands, where he engaged with various cultures and spiritual traditions. The quest for information on Isa's travels has led researchers to Buddhist temples in India, where ancient manuscripts and inscriptions shed light on encounters with wise and enlightened travelers. Some texts describe Isa as a healer and teacher, echoing his biblical reputation, while others speak of his deep engagement with local philosophies and the spiritual tapestry of the East. The records found in Buddhist temples often portray Isa as a seeker of knowledge, engaging in dialogues with learned scholars and delving into the intricacies of Indian philosophies. His reputed ability to perform miracles and heal the sick further fuel the mystique surrounding his journey. One notable account from a Buddhist temple in northern India describes Isa spending time in deep contemplation in the foothills of the Himalayas. The text suggests that he immersed himself in the teachings of local sages and absorbed the profound wisdom embedded in the ancient traditions of the region. Isa's interactions with Buddhist monks also feature prominently in these records. Temples in the ancient city of Varanasi, a significant center of learning and spirituality, contain inscriptions detailing Isa's exchanges with Buddhist scholars. These accounts depict a respectful interchange of ideas, with Isa contributing his insights while absorbing the rich tapestry of Buddhist philosophy. The records found in Buddhist temples highlight Isa's intellectual engagements and depict his compassionate nature. Tales of his acts of kindness, healing, and concern for the well-being of those he encountered echo across the centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the cultural memory of the regions he purportedly visited. Intriguingly, some texts suggest that Isa might have spent time in monastic communities, imbibing the ascetic practices and meditative disciplines prevalent in the East. The syncretic nature of his journey, blending elements of Eastern and Western spiritual traditions, adds a layer of complexity to the narrative. While the records found in Buddhist temples provide valuable insights, they also raise numerous questions. The challenge of interpreting ancient texts, coupled with blending historical and mythical elements, leaves room for varying interpretations of Isa's journey in the East. It's crucial to approach these arguments with caution, recognizing that interpretations of religious texts can vary widely. The lack of definitive evidence and the symbolic nature of some biblical passages make it challenging to draw conclusive conclusions about Jesus' dietary preferences. While some argue in favor of Jesus being a vegan based on specific interpretations, others maintain that the historical and cultural context should be considered more broadly. Ultimately, the question of Jesus' diet remains a topic of speculation and interpretation rather than established historical fact. Rightly so, for it is in our own deeply personal reflections that we find the answers we seek. The evolution of Christmas. The modern Christmas has evolved through a fascinating interplay of historical, cultural, and religious influences. Its roots trace back to various traditions, but perhaps one of the most iconic aspects is the myth of the Christmas dinner. Centuries ago, Christmas was not the universally celebrated holiday we know today. In medieval Europe, the festivities surrounding Christmas were raucous and often involved a mix of religious observance and pagan custom. The idea of a festive meal began to take shape during the Renaissance as a more refined and communal celebration emerged. The myth of the Christmas dinner as we understand it, gained prominence in the Victorian era. Influenced by Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, who popularized the idea of a family-centric Christmas, the holiday became a time for gathering and feasting. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol further embedded the notion of a lavish Christmas dinner in popular culture, depicting the joyous transformation of Ebenezer Scrooge amid a bountiful festive spread. The evolution of the Christmas dinner also reflects changes in social and economic structures. As industrialization progressed, more people moved to urban areas and the nature of family life transformed. The Christmas dinner became a symbol of prosperity and stability, representing the family's ability to provide a special meal during the festive season. In the United States, the Christmas dinner tradition evolved with the country itself. Influences from various immigrant groups contributed to the diversity of holiday meals. The iconic roast turkey, a staple of many Christmas dinners, became popularized in the 19th century, thanks in part to the efforts of Sarah Josepha Hale, an influential figure in shaping American holiday tradition. In the 20th century, the commercialization of Christmas further propelled the myth of the Christmas dinner. Advertisements, movies, and popular media depicted elaborate feasts as the epitome of holiday joy. The friendly, warm, and grandfather-like image we see of Santa today first appeared in 1931 when Coca-Cola commissioned illustrator Haddon Sundblom to paint Santa Claus for the company's Christmas advert. The idea of a grand meal served as a focal point for families, reinforcing the importance of togetherness and abundance during the festive season. Today, the Christmas dinner myth endures as a cultural touchstone, though its specifics may vary across regions and households. Traditional fare often includes roast meats, stuffing, and a medley of side dishes, while multicultural influences have introduced a rich tapestry of flavors to holiday tables worldwide. The modern Christmas's evolution and the Christmas dinner myth are intertwined tales of cultural amalgamation, economic shifts, and evolving societal norms. From humble medieval celebrations to the elaborate feasts of today, the Christmas dinner has become a symbolic centerpiece of the holiday season, reflecting the values and traditions of diverse communities around the globe. The point is that Christmas is a holiday that reflects and helps shape cultural norms and values. Perfect that we should reflect the compassion of Christ in our choices of food, creating new sustainable traditions for our children. So while there is no direct evidence that Jesus was a vegan, he was most likely a vegetarian at least. Most importantly, it is the spirit of Christmas that is important. Celebrating Christmas as a vegan is a wonderful opportunity to embrace the festive spirit while staying true to ethical and sustainable values. A plant-based holiday season can be both delicious and meaningful, offering a compassionate alternative to traditional practices. When it comes to the centerpiece of the Christmas feast, there's a myriad of plant-based options available. A roasted vegetable medley, stuffed mushrooms, or a savory lentil loaf can take center stage on the dining table. These alternatives not only cater to vegans, but can be enjoyed by all, fostering inclusivity during holiday gatherings. Once again, it is not a case of trying to emulate turkey with tofu. I personally know of only a few people who can pull this trick off. They live in Bali. They can make tempeh using mushrooms that taste like any type of meat. Barbecue spare ribs are my favorite. So unless you would like to join us there, we have to get creative. I will be having baked mushroom and mozzarella strudel, which is salt-baked celeriac puree, sauté of spinach, broccoli, and cavallo nero, Cornish clotted cream flavored with nutmeg. In terms of side dishes, a vegan Christmas opens up a world of creative and flavorful options. From maple glazed Brussels sprouts to rosemary infused roasted potatoes, the possibilities are endless. Embracing locally sourced, seasonal produce not only enhances the taste, but also aligns with the sustainability ethos of veganism. Desserts are a delightful part of any Christmas celebration, and vegans need not miss out. Vegan versions of classic treats, such as pumpkin pie with coconut milk or dairy-free chocolate peppermint cookies, allow everyone to indulge in the sweetness of the season without compromising on ethical choices. Beyond the culinary aspects, Christmas decorations can be made eco-friendly by opting for sustainable materials and reusable ornament. DIY projects using recycled materials add a personal touch to the festivities while minimizing environmental impact. Gift giving becomes an opportunity to support cruelty-free and sustainable brands. Vegan skincare, ethically made clothing, or even donations to animal sanctuaries can make thoughtful presents that align with the values of compassion and responsibility. Engaging in vegan-friendly activities during the holiday season can be a joyful way to celebrate. From volunteering at local animal shelters to organizing a vegan potluck with friends and family. These experiences foster a sense of community while promoting the values of kindness and compassion. Christmas and the end of the year is a time of both reflection and making plans for the future. We learn from our mistakes and plan not to repeat them. A simple question is, how can I help make the world a better place going forward? It is the reason for the season. Let's honor that more in 2024. You are the engine of change. Together, one person at a time, we evolve, passing the sweetness of our love onto the next generation. So, have a merry and happy Christmas. May the new year bring you all you need and desire for the greatest good for all concerned. Until then, a single change for good has the most profound impact.
This has been a production of Spirit Quest Publications, a division of Anthony and Mary Holistic Health Services, LLC. All rights reserved.